Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityalala Vishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nityalala Vishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Vishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Vishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Vishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Vishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Vishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityalala Vishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Jai Shri Baladev Vibhushan Prabhu ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Naratam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gora Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Avishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunde Shama Kunde ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Jai Shri Dainik Nadīyā Prakāṣa ki jai. The head editor, writer, all that for Dainik Nadīyā Prakāṣa, Nityal Pravishya Shishimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Swaparshad Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the periodicals of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and his followers ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Samagata online Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, like Shiva says. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All right. Dandava pranams, everybody. This is welcome to I think this is our 12th Dainik Nadīyā Prakāṣa session. Dainik Nadīyā Prakāṣa is the daily magazine of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, which was managed, fully managed by Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, who was Pranavananda Brahmachari at that time. So I'm going to hand it over to Śrīvāsa. All these articles that we're reading are available on the website nadiyaprakāsh.com, NADIYAPRAKASH.com. So I'll hand it over to you now, Śrīvāsa.
All right.
Oh, wait, actually, let's do the Mangalacharan. Sorry, I didn't make a special Mangalacharan for this, but I'll just use the one that I do for the Bhakti Vinod Kiti Dhara program. So, all right, sorry about that. And I'll just skip some of the verses so it won't take so long. Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastra Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandana Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshya Kshiptastakama Dittaranga Madhye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Right, Śrīvāsa, take it away.
Okay.
Oh wait, 1 second. Let me make it possible for you to share. They changed everything here. Okay. Okay. All right, now you can share your screen. Oh, and pranams to everybody who's here. Sarveshwari Mataji, Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu, and oh wait, 1 second. Let me just see. Okay, yeah, that's all here. And let's see on YouTube and Facebook. Is there anybody there yet? There are a few devotees there, but I don't see any comments, so I don't know who you are. So, Dandavat pranams, everybody. All right, you can start.
Okay, so Shri Guru Gauranga Jayataham. 9th of Chaitra, Thursday, 1334, or March 22nd, 1928. Ointment in blind eyes.
Could you increase the size of it for people watching on their phones?
Ointment in blind eyes. In the Bengali year of 1252, or 82 years ago, a book entitled Kayastha Kaustubha was published. Bhatta neighborhood resident Haladar, Tarka Churamani, and another 50 great pundits signed that text, verifying its contents as true. There is a chart in that book. Therein it is written as follows. The Sena Bangsha kings are Ambashta Kayasthas. Shriman Shatrughna Sen is Pautulik. Now, a pagan and idolater. Not sure exactly what it means by Pautulik. And then it just says Navadvip. This king made a new capital on a newly risen island. The water of the swollen Ganga Devi took in the earth on all four sides. Ganga Devi Mayāyang. This town of Ganga Devi that is saturated with her Maya became the abode of all tirthas and all schools. That is why one of its names is Māyāpur. The scriptures say thus, Māyāpure Maheshani Bharam Egam Sachi Sutta. This is from Urdhvamnaya Tantra. The authors of Kayastha Kaustubha wrote the aforementioned classification from looking at Siyar ul Mutakharin. I looked that up. It's some sort of Islamic record. The quote from Urdhvamnaya Tantra was added by the writers. At the time of the Badshahas, Sri Navadvip was called Māyāpur. Our Navadvip, Māyāpur, is right where the fort of the Sena kings was. And 50 years prior, every cultured Bengali man knew that a holy place called Māyāpur that contained all the holy places due to being immersed in the Maya power of Ganga Devi since time immemorial was situated in that place. In that very place, during the Pratham Sandhya, 1st, 12th, of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord Sachinandan appeared. This book, signed by the teachers of Purvastali, suggests no one disbelieved these words then. They themselves have quoted the popular saying, the words of self-interested people are one way and truth is another. Readers, look and understand. If anyone has Siyar-ul Mutakhirin, then read and see. That book has everything about Bhaktiar Khilji, who captured the Navadvip fort from the Hindu kings and deposed Lakshman Sen. The son of Gauda's fortunes set from that time onward. All right, so a little bit about the birthplace and a bit more later. But now is a interesting, this is interesting for me because it's quite relevant. Consideration or deliberation between Sakāma-bhaktas and Karmīs. The devotee with desires and the fruitive worker. Pious Karmīs are greater than human beings who indulge either in inaction or sinful action. Among millions of pious Karmīs like this, one Sakāma-bhakta is greatest. Since the Karmī's identification with the gross body is more pronounced, he desires the worldly pleasures of this realm and the merry dalliances of heaven. So, like the devotee, he bathes in the morning, picks flowers and tulsi, applies tilak, and then worships Bhagavan. So this is definitely a much more elevated concept of a Karmī than we are used to. We think of Karmīs as just being total, I guess, I think these people would call what we call Karmīs malechas. Anyways, if we look at things from the perspective of the ascetic, then we will see that his renunciation is not any less than the one-pointed devotee. Among Karmīs, there are many Nishkam Karmīs, selfless doers, who also worship Bhagavan at the junctures of the day and offer hymns, etc., like the aforementioned Sakāma Karmīs. Yet the Sakāma-bhakta is dearer to Bhagavan than these types of Nishkam Karmīs. What is the reason for that? The Karmīs think that karma is topmost, that Ishvar is compelled to grant them the fruits of their labor. Therefore, according to the Karmīs, Ishvar is subservient to karma. The Sakāma-bhaktas, however, know that Bhagavan alone is the eternal master of all. Therefore, though at first they may have some desires for enjoyment in their hearts, like the aforementioned Sakāma Karmīs, the Sakāma-bhaktas do not consider Bhagavan to be under the sway of karma, like the Karmīs do. Though the devotee may have some desires, he knows that his eternal duty is to engage in worship of Bhagavan. Think of the 5-year-old boy, Dhruva. Though Dhruva worshipped Bhagavan with ambitions for a kingdom, the mood of eternal servitude to Bhagavan as master had been awakened in Dhruva's heart. For these Sakāma-bhaktas, Srimad Mahaprabhu has said, Anya kami kare jadi Śrī Kṛṣṇa bhajan, namagile o Krishna tare dena swacharan. Seeing the Sakāma-bhaktas' simplicity, Bhagavan becomes pleased with them. Those who consider enjoyment or liberation to be the supreme goal and regard the worship of Bhagavan to be a temporary means to achieve their ambitions do not engage in truly sincere worship. When it comes to the worship of Bhagavan, simplicity, like Dhruva's, is most essential. So it's not necessarily about what desires you might have in your heart. It's about what you ultimately believe, whether you believe in karma being supreme most or gyan being supreme most. Then you're just totally disregarding Bhagavan. Why would he reciprocate that? Vision of Śrīdhāma Māyāpur, Śrīdhāma Māyāpur Darshan. This year, I had the fortune of going to Śrīdhāma Māyāpur on the occasion of the birth festival of the Savior of Kali Yuga, Srimana Mahaprabhu. The large area of land situated on the eastern bank of the sacred Bhagirathi has long been known by the name Māyāpur. In Vaishnava texts, this Māyāpur...
Sorry to cut you off. I'm just curious, do you have any like hint of who wrote this one or no?
Sometimes they're signed. Is this one signed? Yes, it is signed. Shri Vishveshwara Das, BA, head teacher at the Shantipur Municipal School.
Okay, cool. Sorry. It is.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, actually, more and more now I'm seeing there's articles signed. Just the other day, I found an article or a letter response signed by Bhaktivinoda Puri Maharaj and signed Bhakti Pramod, or no, Pramod Bhushan Chakravarti. It's this really hard-hitting, written by a Brahmin against the caste Brahmanas. It was amazing.
Okay.
The large area of land situated on the eastern bank of the sacred Bhagirathi has long been known by the name Māyāpur. In Vaishnava texts, this Māyāpur alone is mentioned as the birthplace of Sri Gaura Sundar. However, recently some people are expressing doubts about the actual location of this Māyāpur. Some want to say that the real Māyāpur is a spot that has disappeared into the depths of the Ganga. It occurs to me, however, that for family men like myself, who are attached to the objects of the senses, it is best if we worship and honor the place that great saintly personalities who are of extraordinary character and endowed with divine sight have determined as Māyāpur. Everyone is familiar with how all the holy sites and pastime places in Sri Vrindavan Dham had disappeared. It was only Sriman Mahaprabhu himself and his intimate followers like Rup, Sanatan, and others who were endowed with his potency, who restored all those lost places, holy places. What happened with Śrīdhāma Vrindavan has happened with Māyāpur at present. The Māyāpur of today has been uncovered by detached saints who were absorbed in their bhajan, and by the will of Sriman Mahaprabhu, its splendor has developed more and more each day. Just making one's auspicious arrival in that place easily rouses in one's heart the sacred memory of Sri Gaurangadev and his associates. There, Sri Gauranga's devotees and servants, who are endowed with conscience and renunciation, are preaching the peaceful message of pure devotion, turning the hearts of listeners toward Bhagavan. There, the sacred flow of Harikatha is rushing forth on a daily basis, springing from kirtan and other such activities, like the sanctifying current of the Mandakini's sacred waters. By the purifying power of the air and winds of that place, the prana or life airs of householders who are excessively attached to their worldly lives become filled with indifference to their worldly attachments. In that place, the children, seniors, youth, and mature men and women of every age are all embodiments of love and simplicity. When one witnesses the discussions of spiritual knowledge and the highest forms of bhakti, then it occurs to one that this place is in no way less than Naimisharanya in its sacredness. There are simply no doubts that arise in my mind about that essence of all tirthas, Māyāpur Dham. If we evaluate the varying degrees of purificatory power possessed by different holy places, we can see this Māyāpur Dham contains the glory of all holy places. There is not the slightest doubt that this Māyāpur Dham is worthy of being considered the king of tirthas in this age of Kali Yuga. The newly established Paravidya Peeth, place of spiritual learning, is a place one must see. At this school, there is a beautiful curriculum designed to teach the philosophical texts of the renowned Vaishnava Acharyas. There is also a daily Bengali newspaper entitled Nadīyā Prakāṣa, being published from Māyāpur. This is the only daily newspaper in the district of Nadīyā. That this newspaper continues and develops is desirable in every respect. The overseer and main acharya of Māyāpur and the Gaudiya Mats, Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, is honored by everyone for his wholehearted dedication to dharma, his total lack of selfish motives, and his desire for the welfare of all. At present, he is second to none in preaching pure devotion, as approved by Sri Sriman Mahaprabhu. Both his conduct and preaching are impeccable and exemplary for everyone in this age. A Vaishnava of such firm conviction, sincerity, and immaculate character is only seen from time to time. He is the incarnation of humility and proper decorum. He even addresses his disciples with the honorific apani, and if someone bows to him, he will return the obeisance, even to the most wretched and inferior person. The nectareous currents of Harikatha are always issuing from his mouth. This time, I heard him speak Harikatha tirelessly for 2 long hours. Hearing all the profound topics he discussed in his lecture, the way he clearly defined all the subtlest principles of spiritual knowledge, and invoked various emotive themes in between, as he himself was brimming with powerful surges of emotion, I was truly motionless, as if stunned or spellbound. His electric influence, personal magnetism, I think that this was in English, is extraordinary. This power is the result of total, uninterrupted brahmacharya. There are very few like him who know the hearts of others. As a result, he is foremost among acharyas and is the personified peace and refuge of those seeking dharma. When I had the fortune to hear the speech issuing from his sacred mouth, the subject he was discussing was how to eliminate anarthas. Artha and anartha are 2 different things. First there is Shraddha, and after that comes Sadhu Sangha. He carefully sifted out the scientific sequence of attaining real Bhagavad Bhakti or Prem. After that, he delivered in-depth explanation of verses like Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido, and outlined very clearly the deceit and harmfulness of the so-called modern Vaishnava cult referred to as the Babu Sampradaya. Every profound lecture of Pujyapad Prabhupada is published in the Gaudiya magazine under the heading Prabhupada Bhaktatar Chumbak. I have seen that the Supremely Venerable editor of the Gaudiya, Sri Yukta Sundarananda Vidya Vinod Prabhu, is compiling the essence of Prabhupada's lectures in book form for posterity. Curious readers will be able to sate their interest by reading the Gaudiya. Therefore, I have desisted from the futile effort of recording the essence of Prabhupada's lecture. I have heard from various people that though Gaudiya Mat saints speak and write of many educational, informative statements, one can barely find any display of Prem's Ashtasattvic transformations among them. From what I have seen with my own eyes, I cannot accept this critique. The exalted preachers of the Gaudiya Mat become overwhelmed with emotion and shed tears of love during their lectures and while performing Sankirtan, and some of them roll in the dust. From carefully watching Prabhupada's face, I have understood that he goes to great effort to conceal his emotion and never reveals the outright expression of Prem in front of unqualified persons. He is very much acquainted with the fact that moral negligence and weakness of character go hand in hand with overt emotionality, and he makes a point of explaining this to others. The final topic to touch upon is that many people think that Prabhupada's creation of a Brahman Sampradaya by endowing people with Brahminical status through Diksha is not in accordance with Arya Dharma and is in fact ruinous to society. However, the fact of the matter is this. Given how degraded modern society has become, if a powerful, intelligent personality does not restructure society in a new form, there is no hope of Sanatan Arya Dharma or pure Vaishnava Dharma lasting. Therefore, it seems to me that the practice Prabhupada is promoting is re-establishing the lost Vritta Varnashram Dharma, or societal order that is determined organically by the individual's actions and natural qualities. Pranata, Shri Vishveshwara Das, BA, Head Teacher, Shantipur Municipal High School, Shantipur, Nadia. It's interesting, huh? Some nice descriptions of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur from an observer. Okay, then this is a request to civil society. This is all about the Babajis. Nowadays, the practice of suddenly donning the mendicant's garb and becoming a Babaji out of nowhere has reached epidemic levels. 99% of all these Babaji groups do not understand the meaning of the word bek, mendicant's garb. Often, they have become involved in some big scandal in their hometown with some woman, or they had no woman at home, and they figured that they could find a woman if they became a Babaji. These sorts of situations and many types of desires for material indulgence are the reasons members of the so-called Babaji groups take bek all of a sudden. All these uneducated Bogi Sampradayas have let their poor example bring a distaste for words like Babaji, Vairagi, and bek, etc. into educated society. Because of their behavior, educated society thinks that the whole Vaishnava tradition comprises of such uneducated, uncivilized womanizers who are not actually devotees of Krishna. And it is not as if it is even unnatural for educated people to have this twisted conception of Vaishnava Dharma, because the Babaji groups are so numerous and prevalent, growing in numbers day by day. The author of the book Śrī Caitanya Movement, Mr. Kennedy Mahodaya, has also fallen prey to this erroneous conception. Whoever he collected information about Vaishnava Dharma from introduced themselves as Goswamis, Babajis, or Vairagis. But in truth, such people do not know the first thing about Vaishnava Dharma. They are all corrupted in numerous ways by flaws stemming from their illicit relations with women. Therefore, if Kennedy and other members of civilized society heard about Shuddha Bhakti as preached by Srimad Mahaprabhu from the mouth of a pure Vaishnava who is truly acquainted with Krishna Tattva, then they could develop firm conviction in the universality of Vaishnava Dharma and be delivered from the impressions created by the so-called Babajis. They would understand that all living entities are the servants of Krishna, and eternal service to Krishna is what defines the living entity as a Karshna, a being in eternal relationship with Krishna, or a Vaishnava. The word bhik is a corruption of the word vesh and or bhikshu. Murdanya retroflex sha is pronounced as ka in Western regions, so the pronunciation of the word vesh has commonly evolved as bhik instead of vik. I think this is supposed to be real vairagya is to relinquish all non-Vaishnav conduct in the form of all hankerings to satisfy the self with objects unrelated to Krishna, and offer one's soul. Real vairagya is to relinquish all non-Vaishnav conduct in the form of all hankerings to satisfy the self with objects unrelated to Krishna, and offer one's soul wholly at the lotus feet of Krishna with the inclination to serve Krishna and satisfy his senses with all of one's own senses. Such a renounced person who is fully engaged in Krishna Anushilan with all of his senses is a Tridandi sannyasi of the fourth ashram. The Salinganashramang Tyakta Charit Vidhi Gocharam state of the Tridandi sannyasi, Salingana Ashramang Tyakta, to giving up all ashrams and their distinguishing markers, Salinga, one who moves Chared Vidhi Gocharam. Now, I thought this was supposed to be Vidhi Agocharam, but it said Vidhi Gocharam. So in accordance with Vidhi. State of the Tridandi sannyasi is that of the Paramahamsa or Vairagi. In other words, one who relinquishes all signs of caste and station and thus does not traverse the path of rules pertaining to their varna or ashram is a Paramahamsa or Vairagi. In this Paramahamsa state, some discard external markers of varnashram dharma. Some may also not display such markers due to their humility. One cannot judge their Vaishnavaness by such external markers. Vaishnava chinitenari devera shakati. There is no rule that says a person's Vaishnavaness must be determined by their external appearance. Vaishnavaness, Vaishnavata, depends on the intensity of one's attachment to Krishna. Only Krishna and his dear associate Sri Gurudev makes that judgment and facilitates advancement in the realm of bhajan. All the womanizers of ill repute who do not know the tattva of the acceptance of Vesh as befitting a Paramahamsa try to eat grass with the horses. Or in other words, transgress proper protocols and processes and want to dress up like Paramahamsas all of a sudden. The only real way to reform dharma in this situation is to go to the king and charge them as dacoits in disguise. They have brought infamy and shame to Vaishnava society, for they have openly and without restraint promoted illicit relations with other people's wives in the world. These kinds of people have brought shame to the homes of countless dignified individuals. As for those who endorse all these so-called Babaji womanizers, how can their intelligence be praised? One simply cannot control one's laughter when this class of Babajis is trying to compete in preaching the glories of the Śrīdhāma or in performing kirtan of Krishna Katha. We cannot fathom what sort of heinous motive has compelled those who take pride in identifying themselves as educated, dignified men of letters to endorse all these untouchable characters of foul conduct and give them such undue indulgence. You can tell a person's nature by the company he keeps. Will we become unpopular among educated folk if we think this proverb applies to them for keeping the company of such so-called Babajis? Educated society is surely familiar with Avaishnava Mukudgiranam Putam Harikatamritam Shavanam Naiva Kartavyam Sarpochishtam Yatapaya. Hearing Harikatha from the mouths of non-Vaishnavas is as dangerous as drinking milk poisoned by the lips of a serpent. Therefore, if they want their own auspiciousness and at the same time the auspiciousness of their own countrymen, then they will quickly give up the bad company of womanizers and non-devotees and teach others to give up such a satsanga. This is our one humble request. Asat Sanga Tyag E Vaishnava Achar Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta Ar. All right. Can you read this next section? I have to go to the bathroom.
Just to, is this fan way too intense?
I can't hear it.
Like, okay, perfect. All right. Somebody just turn on the fan out here and see now it's all right. Just sharing my screen. A phony yogi's pitiable condition. We just find phony. Oops. Okay. A phony yogi's pitiable condition. The following story appeared in the Evening World magazine. Interesting. Evening World. A Bengali yogi named Swami Yogananda has been teaching love between men and women for some time now. Recently, Police Chief Mr. H.N. Quigg came to know that several representatives of the municipality of Miami planned to force the Swami to stop his teaching. So he has ordered the Swamiji to leave the city for his own safety. However, it seems this yogi was going to silently and peacefully resist this attempt at expelling him from the city. He was living in his quarters at a beautiful hotel. A police detail was guarding him. The aforementioned yogi admitted to his friends that it is not false that he has charged almost 200 women $35, that's almost 100 taka, each to give them private lessons on sense control and other topics. But he is saddened that he has been called a love cult guru. People have misunderstood his teachings. The next day, Quigg Sahib summons the yogi again and said, I am ordering you to leave this city because of the complaints of many people and that you cannot, and so that you can protect yourself from a reputation. I'm ordering you to leave this city because of the complaints of many people and so that you can protect yourself from a repetition of this incident in Los Angeles when an insulted husband broke your nose. Well, the yogi had come before Quigg and had, till then, been sitting across the table from him, staring at him intensely in an attempt to bewilder him. At this, Quigg Sahib chastised him, saying, Enough with all that. Hear what I am telling you. The yogi was forced to desist. It cannot be determined whether or not an incident similar to what happened in Los Angeles occurred in Miami. because this yogi is refusing to comment. Whatever the case, the yogi's nose appears to be untouched, looking at the way it does in his photographs. From that, it seems that he has not been attacked in this place. Then again, he showed the description in the newspaper detailing that incident, insisting that he was not the person who was attacked in Los Angeles. When a high-ranking detective, J.C. Reeve Saheb, when he found the yogi at home, he tried to take him to the station, but Yogananda refused. However, as soon as Reeve Saheb took out the handcuffs, the yogi changed his mind, and he took all of his books and manuscripts under his arm and followed the detective out. After that, Quig Saheb, and I think like Quig Saheb, that you could just say like Mr. Quig. That's right. Saheb is, let's just see. Yeah, it's used for Europeans, wasn't it? Something like that, Saheb?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So after that, Quig Saheb again said, representatives of a group of men and a group of women have just been here asking for you to leave this place at once. You should leave as soon as possible with all your companions so that there is no further disturbance. We do not wish to allow any of you to remain here. Yogananda came to the city of Miami several weeks earlier. He promoted himself as an influential Hindu and the founder of the Yogoda Satsanga Center in Los Angeles, which became Transcendental Meditation, right? TM?
I'm
Or
not
no,
sure.
what is it called? The Fellowship, something. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading his autobiography and I was really fascinated with it. And I had quite a positive impression of him. But I guess, yeah, the Gaudiya Mutt did not take so favorably to him in his teachings.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's like a Kriya Yogi, part of the Kriya Yogi tradition. All right, next one is, okay, should I share again? Here we go. Blind even with eyes. We are all pratyakshavadis, means we believe what we see. In other words, whatever we see with our eyes, we believe. We do not have so much conviction in what we do not see with our eyes, whether it is true or false. But what is more astonishing is the fact that despite being such avid believers in what our eyes see, we cannot see the biggest thing in front of our eyes, something that is always there. Have you figured out what that astounding thing before our eyes is? Listen close. Once the son of Dharma, Yudhishthira, asked Bhishma about this wonder. In response, Bhishma said, Ahanya hani bhutani gachanti yamamandiram shesha stiratamichanti kimaschajam ataparam. Every day, millions and millions of beings are dispatched to the abode of death. But despite seeing that, the living entities who remain alive are not worried. This is the most amazing thing. They are engrossed in recreation and other activities. Every day, the sun rises and sets, stealing what is left of their lives. And though they witness this, they do not realize what is happening. What is more astonishing than this? There are many wonders in this world that are worth seeing, but the first thing to see is this. This is the biggest wonder. Why are we saying it is such a great wonder? It is such a great wonder because once we recognize it, we become anxious to attain immortality. We will search for the means to become immortal. There are many revered scholars in the world. Because of all the research they are doing, they are constantly making so many new discoveries and will continue to do so. But to this day, has anyone tried to become immortal? Has anyone sought out immortality? All those things we have, but a fleeting relationship with, how happy will they make us? Therefore, is searching for immortality not one of the biggest tasks among all the other tasks we may set about accomplishing? Still, we can say that we do not know of anyone, nor have we heard of anyone who has become immortal. This is true. But the Vedas say, Tameva viditva atimrityun eti nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. By knowing you, people conquer death and attain immortality. There is no other way to attain immortality. Bhagavan has not said this in the Vedas only once, but many times. How many hundreds of years are Western scientists spending to prove the truth of a single inert phenomena? Likewise, will it suffice to discuss this matter just once? Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, from sannyāsa-līlā onwards. I think it's been a while since we've read one of these. See previously published article titled Śrī Māyāpur-Pūrṇa-candrodaya. Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Caitanya Namne Gauratishe Namah. After roaming for 3 days in this way, by Nityananda Prabhu's cleverness, the new sannyasi, Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, arrived on the western side of the Ganga in Shantipur. He thought he was traveling to Vrindavan, so he started offering hymns to the Ganga, thinking it was the Jamuna. From there, Śrī Advaita Prabhu took Śrī Gaurasundar by boat to his home in Shantipur. There, Śrī Advaita Prabhu had Sita Thakurani cook a huge feast and offered it to Śrī Gaurasundar and Śrī Nityananda. Śrī Gaurasundar requested Śrī Mukunda and Śrī Haridas to sit with them and honor prasad. Out of humility, they did not sit in the same line as the two Prabhus. So after Mahaprabhu had his meal, Advaita Prabhu took them, Haridas and Mukunda, with him, and they honored Śrī Gaurasundar's remnants together to their heart's content. Everyone in Shantipur came to have darshan of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. In the evening, sankirtan and dancing began. As soon as Mukunda began kirtan, the 8 ecstatic symptoms manifested in the Lord all at once. The next day in the morning, Shachimata got onto a palanquin and came to the home of Advaita in Shantipur, along with many devotees from Navadvip. Shachimata arrived and saw Mahaprabhu face to face for the first time since he had taken sannyas. Mahaprabhu stayed in Shantipur for a total of 10 days, consoling Shachimata, performing Hari Kirtan with the devotees of Navadvip, and enacting the pastime of accepting alms in the form of what Shachimata cooked by her own hand in the home of Advaita. In order to teach the conduct of a sannyasi, Mahaprabhu, who is enacting the pastime of being a teacher to the world, explained to the inhabitants of Navadvip that once one takes sannyas, one should not live with one's relatives in the place of one's birth. Shachimata heard her son's words and asked him to live in Nilachal because she knew that would please Gaurasundar. Mahaprabhu instructed all the inhabitants of Navadvip to spend their lives engaging incessantly in Krishna Sankirtan, Krishna Nam, and Krishna Katha. Thus he bade farewell to the devotees of Shantipur and to Shachimata, and set off with Nityananda, Mukunda, Jagarananda, and Damodar towards Sri Purushottam via Chatrabhog. On the Chatrabhog road, Mahaprabhu passed through Vriddhamantreshwar and arrived at one of the borders of the Utkal kingdom. On the way, they had many ecstatic kirtans and begged alms in various places. In this way, they eventually arrived in the village of Remuna, where they had darshan of Sri Gopinath. There, Mahaprabhu narrated to his devotees the story Ishvarapuri had told him about Sri Madhavendra Puri and Kirchara Gopinath. As the Lord recited the verse, Ai Dina Dayadranath by Madhavendra Puri, he manifested divine madness and separation. Mahaprabhu spent the night there and carried on toward Nilachal the next day. From Yajpur, they arrived in Katak, and there had darshan of Shakshi Gopal, where they heard the story of Gopal from Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. From Katak, they went to Bhuvaneshwar, where they had darshan of the Kshetrapal Shiv there. Then, in Kamalpur, on the banks of the Bhargi river, where he went to see Kaputeshwar Shiv. Mahaprabhu broke his danda to when he went to see Kaputeshwar Shiv, Mahaprabhu gave his danda to Sri Nityananda, who broke Mahaprabhu's danda into 3 pieces and threw them in the river, to communicate that the sovereign Lord of all did not need to bear the danda and other symbols of self-punishment. Mahaprabhu acted like he was angry, to convey that although Bhagavan and Paramahansa Vaishnavas do not need to punish or discipline themselves like that, if the sadhak, who is rife with anarthas, does not discipline his body, mind, and words, then there is no possibility of attaining auspiciousness by resorting to whimsical independence. Arriving at Atharanala, Mahaprabhu demonstrated a pastime of being a little angry and left his companions behind, going alone to the temple of Sri Jagannath Dev. When Sriman Mahaprabhu saw Sri Jagannath Dev, he became overwhelmed with prem and ran to embrace Sri Jagannath, manifesting the symptoms of Mahabhav. To be continued. Now for the daily news from 100 years ago. News of the times. This year, because the rains have not come when they should have, the crops have not fared well. Therefore, there has been famine in many places. It has also been very hot. There have been such extensive outbreaks of cholera, smallpox, and other epidemics in some places that many people are dying every day from one village to the next. In other places, there have been various catastrophes due to excessive rain. All these worldly sufferings are unavoidable for the jiva bound by Maya. We must simply endure all these difficulties. There is no way to escape their clutches. Suffering roves upon the earth like the wheel of time itself. Some years crops are good in a certain region, and the next year there is famine there. Some years there is no rain somewhere, and the next there is too much rain. Today the home that is brimming with joy will be resounding. Today the home that is brimming with joy will be resounding with cries of sorrow tomorrow. There is no way to fathom the will and ways of Bhagavan. But this much is for certain. He is auspicious. He does not do anything that is inauspicious. There are some seeds of auspiciousness hidden in all these sufferings. When we are in such predicaments, what else can we do but pray to Bhagavan, who is the one friend who can deliver us from calamity? Dukkha bhoga kari nija krita karma phale kaya manovakya tava charana kamale bhakti kari kate kal tava kripa ashe mukti pada tava pada pai anayase. I endure suffering due to the results of my own past deeds. I spend my time engaging in devotional service to your lotus feet by body, mind, and words. In this way, I will easily attain your feet, which are the source of liberation. Local news. Agradweep Festival. Near Patuli Station on the EIR Bandel Katwa line is where Ghosh Thakur's Srila Gopinath Dev is being eternally worshipped. Every year in this place, there is a festival on the occasion of Varuni, a fast day on the 13th of the dark half of Caitra. This year, too, there was a festival for 3 days, from Sunday to Tuesday. Many people attended the festival.
Have you ever gone for that, Śrīvāsa?
No, have you?
No, but a lot of devotees I know go for that. I remember Madhukar from Brazil, he went there when I've seen like every year there are a lot of devotees go for that. It's like a really huge thing.
The Agradweep Festival, huh?
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell, I couldn't figure out who Ghosh Thakur is. Is that Vasudev Ghosh?
I
Which
think so. It's one of the Ghosh brothers, Vasudev Ghosh or Govinda Ghosh. But yeah, and I think the rest of the year Gopinath is just like kind of hidden. So this is the only time, the only chance that people get darshan of Gopinath.
Okay, interesting.
It's what I remember hearing at least.
Agradweep.
Actually, I think we read a whole thing about it in the Gaudiya Bhashya, if I remember correctly. I'll have to look that up again.
But Agradweep, okay. I didn't even know where it is.
It's near Māyāpur.
Champahati Gaur Gadadhara's Ram Navami Dole. In the village of Champahati in Samudragar is the ancestral home of Gaur Parshad Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. Here preside the twin deities of Sri Sri Gaur Gadadhar established by Pandit Goswami's brother and disciple Dvijavani Nath Brahmachari. The deities have been here for over 400 years. Over time, the Sevites had neglected the place, so it had become an overgrown jungle, and the worship was almost entirely stopped. Now, however, by the efforts of the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Math at the birthplace of Srimad Mahaprabhu, responsibility for the site has come under the management of Śrī Caitanya Math in cooperation with 3 trustees who were the previous proprietors. By the heartfelt efforts of Sri Yukta Paramananda Brahmachari, one of the sevaks of Śrī Caitanya Math, and with the assistance of various other devotees, the whole jungle has been cleared from the site and a temple constructed. Now daily worship is going on as per proper standards, and festivals and other functions are being held there. Here, as per ancient tradition, there is a swing festival for the deities on Ram Navami. This year, on this upcoming 17th of Caitra, March 30th, there will be a swing festival at this Bharpadi, ancient home temple. It's interesting, although... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say something on a different topic, so you speak first.
It's just interesting that like these structures in Mayapur, like Shiva Sangha, Advaita Bhavan, and then there in Champahati, they were built about kind of like 100 years ago, roughly. And they're just now, like last time I was in Navadip, they were just starting to renovate Advaita Bhavan, put a new like pavilion up. So it's
still haven't finished.
Really? Okay. Yeah, it's just interesting. These temples are about 100 years old, and now it's like time to renovate them a bit.
Oh, and Shubhananda Prabhu just shared a beautiful picture of Gopinath. He said it's Vasudev Ghosh, but you can see it in the chat.
I want to see.
And it's at the end of the program when we do Mahamantra, I can show the picture of Gopinath Big. But beautiful, huh?
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Gopinath Ji ki jai. Nana Katha. 35 people have been injured in the riot in Rishra. One of the victims, a boy, has died at the Śrīrampur hospital. Now the situation has calmed down there. This past 17th of March, in the morning, Ahmedabad's ancient Badar gate broke, and the engineer's butler has died. The engineer's people were sleeping in this place. Last Monday, I think maybe it means collapsed. Last Monday, all 500 students of Scottish Church College held an assembly at Calcutta's Cornwallis Square. During the assembly, it was determined that it is clear that since Dr. Watt has expelled Sachindranath Mitra and disregarded the college union, he has no sympathy for the students. Though the students have appealed to file a complaint in Mitra's name with the principal has refused to accept it. Therefore, the students propose, 1, the principal should be requested to withdraw the order to expel Mitra and reveal the reason for Mitra's expulsion in front of everyone. Prior to receiving the principal's answer, no students will attend classes. And 3, the principal will be sent a copy of the proposal. The students had a meeting on this past Tuesday, March 20th also. The students have requested everyone to participate in a peaceful protest on behalf of the student assembly. There will be no picketing. On March 18th, in the afternoon, one of Delhi's biggest iron merchants, Sheikh Banwari Lal Khandelwal, greeted Shri Yukta Patel, the chairman of the Legislative Assembly, at a celebratory conference. Aside from government employees and their respective entourages, there were nearly 500 distinguished individuals of the city in attendance at the conference. Yesterday, there was mention of congratulating him at yet another celebration. The Afghan royal couple arrived at Portsmouth Dock and were greeted with a 21-gunshot salute and loud cheers. Thereafter, they were greeted by the workers of the Marine Department. They viewed the Guard of Honor and the 2 battleships, the Victory and the Tiger. The chief general treated them to lunch. All the ships were flying the Afghan flag. The investigation committee of City College has met. Once the committee has communicated the results of their investigation to the college council, the council will determine its duties. Lady Abe Bailey has flown to Cape Town in an airplane by herself. This March 16th, she returned without any trouble. The Dainik Jyoti magazine reports that a second-year student at Chattogram College named Achimiya has been studying in order to get results in his exams and sleeping only 1 or half an hour per night for 23 nights. On the day of the exams, after an hour of writing answers in his examination, nothing was entering his mind. His mind was totally blank. He was forced to stop his examination. The doctor checked him and concluded that his nervous system was agitated from too much mental labor. The student body is feeling very sad for him.
That's such a sad story. He studied too hard that he was just useless.
Moral of the story, get your sleep. You need your sleep. Kshirodavasini Devi, the mother of Śrī Yukta Shachindranath and Bhupendranath Sanyal, who were charged in the Kakuri conspiracy case, has died at the age of 52. Her 4 sons have all undergone various types of political persecution. Don't stress your mother out. That's the moral of that story. A S-8 submarine that sank this past 17th of December near Provincetown has been brought to the service again. Everyone has received word that the auspicious nuptials of indoors former Maharaja Sri Tukoji Rao with Miss Nancy Miller have been celebrated with great fanfare at a royal palace called Barhawa Darya Mahal. Over 25,000 people were in attendance. Miss Miller, or Sharmishta Devi, has demonstrated great enthusiasm in all the marriage rituals performed as per Hindu scripture. After the marriage, according to Maharashtrian custom, the lady takes the husband's title. In this case, the name Sharmishta Devi, which was conferred to her by the Shankaracharya of Kathar Mutt, has not been changed at all. But Sri Tukurji Rao is still referred to as Maharaja, so Miss Miller will now be known as Maharani Sharmishta Devi Holkar. Reports are that the Maharaja and Maharani will soon go to Europe to restore their health. When asked what they plan to do, they say that they want to return to Indore and serve the citizens and India. They do not want the citizens to get the wrong idea that they are going abroad. It will only be for a short time. They will return by winter.
It's like not been an issue yet without Miss Miller in it. Some news about Miss Miller, isn't it?
Yeah, she's dominating the news. The annual conference of the Nikhil Bharat Hindu Mahasammelan, the All India Hindu Grand Assembly, has been set for this upcoming 6th, 7th, and 8th of April. All the members of the Hindu Sabha in Calcutta who want to be elected as representatives in this conference should submit an application with their address and an annual fee of 1 rupee at the address provided below. It has been decided that the 4th annual conference of the Hindu Sammelan in the Bengal region will be held in Mymensingh. Those who want to be representatives at the conference should send their name, address, and yearly fee of 1 rupee to the address provided below. Shri Bhutanath Mukhopadhyay, editor, 50 Bagwazar Street, Calcutta. Shri Yukta Gandhi Ji has apparently decided to go to Europe as he has accepted the invitation of the Vienna Youth Conference. He is now waiting for a letter from Roland. Once the letter arrives, all arrangements will be finalized. In Bombay City, the coroner has investigated the remains of the dead European found in the first-class cabin of a JIP train and ascertained that this Saheb's name was Robert Pennington, previously colonel in the volunteer division, who was working recently at a private company in Bombay. One of his friends said, at the time of identifying him, that he had tried to commit suicide about a month ago, but had been stopped in the attempt. A letter from Pennington has revealed that a great deal of malaise and the betrayal of a trusted friend had driven him to suicide. The jury has ruled the death as suicide. A Canadian plane has been sent to Greenville to see if Captain Hinchcliffe landed in Greenville. There are plans to run a railway along the Kanti-Belda Road in Medinipur district. Apparently all arrangements have been made. The only thing left is the approval of the railway board. We will be very pleased to see work commence shortly on the rail line. And that is it for today, folks. Nadīyā Prakāśa.
Jai Ho. I was, if there's a little bit more time, I thought the story of Gopinath and Vasudeva Ghosh is very interesting, and there's a short explanation of it in Śrī Caitanya and His Associates by Srila Bhakti-Vallabha Tirtha Goswami. So I thought maybe we could just read that.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just find it. Where did I just opened? Oh, there it is. All right. So let me just make the text big so you can all see. Yeah, it's too big. All right. Sorry. Okay, so on Mahaprabhu's direction, Govinda revealed the Gopinath deity from a black stone in Agradweep. Mahaprabhu also instructed him to get married. There is a legend that Govinda Ghosha's wife and son both died untimely. As he grew older, Govinda began to wonder who would perform his last rites, as it is considered important to have a son who can do the Shad ceremony on one's behalf. Govinda had a dream in which Gopinath appeared to him and said, "Don't worry about this. I will perform the Shad ceremony for you myself." When Govinda Ghosh left this world, Gopinath was true to his word and offered his pinda. Gopinath continues to perform this ceremony every year on the anniversary of Govinda Ghosh's departure from the world. This takes place on the waning moon, the Krishna Dwadashi of the month of Caitra, which is right after Falgun, right? Yeah, so like right after Gaur Purnima. Vasudeva Ghosh's disappearance day is on the second day of the waxing moon, the Shukla Dvitiya, in the month of Kartik. Yeah, so there's the huge pinda ceremony, like where Gopinath performs the pinda. It happens, takes place every year in Agradweep.
So is that the festival they're referring to here?
Yes, yeah, and it's soon after Gaur Purnima.
Okay.
And they have a huge mela. It's famous. It's famous not even just like it's a big mela for like they have like a whole carnival, you know, like with rides and all the shops, you know, like it's a huge thing. People from all different places come, not even just for a darshan of Gopinath, but to see the huge carnival.
Sure.
And then I'll just show some pictures here. Wait, it's not so clear. But yeah, see, there's Gopinath. Very beautiful, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Shubhanandaru also shared some photos. If you just type in Agradweep Gopinath, you'll find all these pictures. Yeah. Where's the picture Shubhanandaru sent? Here. There's Gopinath up close. Jai Gopinath ki jai.
Gopinath.
All right. Oh yes, Shubhanandaru.
I think this particular photograph is from VC Vani, Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani from Śrī Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj article.
Okay. Okay, great. All right, so thank you everybody so much for joining. Dandavat Pranam. I'll do a short Maha Mantra and then yeah, okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Śrīvāsa, do you prefer me to do Jaidvani today? Because are you eating right now? Or?
Yeah, I'm kind of having breakfast.
Okay. It must be a late breakfast there. Oh, all right. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Juki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Juki Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Srila Bhakti Dayita Madhav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai, the chief editor of this, the writer, everything for this Dainik Nadīyā Prakāṣa. Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Śrīdhāma Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Namachay Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gora Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradakta Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Dainika Nadīyā Prakāṣa Ki Jai. All the periodicals of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and all of his followers Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha. Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. Nuri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarini Mataji, Śrīvāsa Prabhu, Shrivananda Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Haribo, Shri Devi Didi, Indira Mataji, and let's see, who's there on YouTube and Facebook? Champak Mataji, Vidyalala Sadidi, and 5 other devotees. Dandavat pranams, and pranams to everybody watching in the future. Thank you so much for joining. And all these articles are available on nadiyaprakāsh.com, NADIYAPRAKASH.com. And also, if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend you go to bigdrum.us, that's Śrīvāsa's website, and you subscribe so that you don't miss any articles that he translates from all of our acharyas. So thank you so much, Śrīvāsa, for another session. Look forward to next time. And yeah, do you have anything else you want to say, Śrīvāsa, at the end? Like, is there anything? No? Okay. All right. Jai Shri Radhe, Dandavat Pranams. See you all next time. Haribo.